What's going on, guys? Welcome to the video. So today we're going to go over 5 mistakes that new entrepreneurs make that if you can avoid making these mistakes too, it will shorten the time between where you are now and where you want to be. First and foremost is they're not patient enough. Now, in this instant gratification culture that we live in, many people are under the impression that they can just start a business and a month or two later, it'll be paying them the equivalent of a full-time income or even more. Now, is that possible? Of course. But the reality is, for most aspiring entrepreneurs, it's going to take a lot longer than that. Chances are anything that's enticing you with short-term profits will be just that, short-term. And then you have to start all over again somewhere else. I'll quote Jeff Bezos here. Seek instant gratification or the elusive promise of it, and chances are you'll find a crowd there ahead of you waiting. Moral of the story, don't chase business models or listen to anyone promising you short-term gratification or instant success. Now, the second mistake that new entrepreneurs make is that they start spending their profit too early. When you start to see some success with your business, your first inclination might be to start spending some of your profit. And there's nothing wrong with spending the money that you make, but you definitely need to be wary of falling into an improved lifestyle trap. What tends to happen with most new entrepreneurs that see success is they start to spend a lot of their money and their profit on liabilities that they don't need. And then their business and their customers suffer. And then the business that initially paid for that lifestyle is now required to maintain it. And they constantly need to siphon money out of it instead of spending that valuable profit and reinvesting it back into the business to grow it. Now, the next mistake that they make is they don't try enough things. I talk to failing entrepreneurs daily, and a big problem that I see a lot of them facing is that they're trying to fit a square peg into a round hole, meaning they're trying to force themselves into a business model that they don't like or even care about simply because somebody told them that it was something that might work for them, or maybe they believe that there was a lot of money to be made in that specific business model right now. But this is a recipe for disaster. If you don't like and care about the businesses that you start, it's almost a virtual certainty that you will fail. You won't be willing to do what it takes to make it successful. You won't be willing to put in that extra hour, let's say on a Sunday, to make sure it's off and running on Monday. And you definitely won't be able to put the extra hours of work in to outmaneuver your competitors. So instead of trying to force yourself to succeed in a business that you don't like, why not start one around what you do like? You'll be much more successful, it'll come 1,000 times easier, and you'll be much more happy doing so. Here's something that was recommended to me by a mentor a few years ago that I genuinely believe in. Now, if you see this T up here on this sheet that I drew, it's pretty self-explanatory, and this represents the ideal entrepreneurship journey. So in the beginning, you want to be at the top of the T, right? And you want to be trying a bunch of different business models to see what you like and what you're good at. And then as you kind of get more seasoned and you figure out what you do tend to be good at and what you do enjoy, then you kind of want to hone your focus down into one main business model, sometimes two if they're related, and really focus tunnel vision on that. Now, another huge mistake that they make is that they diversify way too early. And I'm not talking about your stock portfolio here. I'm talking about the business models that you choose to spend time on. This might sound counterintuitive to the last point, but stick with me here. You definitely need to try a bunch of things to see what you like and what you're good at. But then when you identify what it is that you do like and you're good at, you want to go all in and stick with it. That means not trying to do too many things at once. You can certainly branch out, like we touched on before in the T graph, to other more related multiple income streams, but the key word there is related. Don't jump the gun. Focus on mastering one thing at a time, and only when you master that first business and you can afford to take some of your attention off of it to grow another related business, should you attempt to do so. A massive new mistake entrepreneurs make is they try to grow too many businesses at once, and then they only end up being mediocre at a bunch of different things. The last mistake new entrepreneurs make is they're only always thinking about themselves and their bottom line instead of the customer. Now, I'm not some hippie here telling you to go out and do, aid work for the rest of your life. I get that we're all starting businesses to make money. But the truth is, the more you focus on what's good for your customer, well, the quicker and easier that money will come. If you're focused on only your profit, well, then you begin to neglect the most important part of your business, your customers. So focus on building a long-term business that provides the best product or service to your customers as possible, and then work every single day to improve it. The not so secret of business is that it's not actually complicated. The person or the company with the best product or service usually wins in the end. So there you have it, guys. 5 mistakes that new entrepreneurs make, and if you can avoid making any or all of these mistakes, chances are you'll grow your business a lot faster than most people are able to.